729%. Yep, you heard that right. That is the absolutely staggering year-over-year growth in job postings for a highly specific, rapidly emerging role in tech right now. While the headlines over the past year have been totally dominated by automation anxiety and widespread tech layoffs, there's actually a massive counter-narrative hiding right there in the data. There is one specific job that artificial intelligence is actively creating at an unprecedented scale. And the reason? Because every single enterprise deployment of AI requires profound human expertise to actually make it functional. And look, this isn't just hype. Top industry leaders are seeing this massive gap firsthand. Just listen to what Box CEO Aaron Levy has to say about it. He states, forward-deployed engineers are about to become one of the most in-demand jobs in tech, and one of the most important functions for AI rollouts. This is a fundamental shift in how the tech sector, and honestly, even the management consulting industry, are operating right now. The stakes are incredibly high, and the folks who can step up and fill this gap, well, they're commanding a massive premium in the labor market. So welcome to today's Explainer. Today, we are going to unpack exactly what a forward-deployed engineer, or FDE, actually is, why companies are literally desperate to hire them, and most importantly, we are going to lay out a tactical, step-by-step, 12-month playbook. We're going to map out your exact journey to mastering this enterprise AI transition, setting you up for a compensation package that frequently tops $200,000. Consider this your mission briefing. We're covering 5 core areas today. First, what exactly is an FDE? Second, the core technical skills you'll need. Third, your step-by-step 12-month playbook. Fourth, the project milestones you absolutely have to hit. And finally, the mindset shift required to pull this off. Let's get right into it. All right, part 1. What is an FDE? The hybrid role taking over tech. So let's dive in and define exactly what companies ranging from tech giants like Palantir, OpenAI, and Stripe, all the way to consulting heavyweights like McKinsey and BCG are actively hunting for. A forward-deployed engineer is a really fascinating hybrid role. Instead of sitting in a back office just writing internal code all day, an FDE embeds directly with client companies. You're combining the deep technical chops of a software engineer with the smooth communication skills of a consultant, plus the vision of a product builder. Think of it like a giant puzzle. Companies struggle to convert a quote-unquote cool AI model into real tangible business value. As an FDE, you bridge that gap. You're the person who actually understands the customer's pain point, say a bank that needs fraud detection or a huge retailer needing a smart AI chatbot. And you design, prototype, and deploy that technical solution directly into their live environment. Now, what's really interesting about these compensation numbers is seeing how this rare combination of skills translates into the market. Because, let's be honest, finding someone who can code a complex multi-agent AI system and clearly present that architecture to a chief technology officer without breaking a sweat, that's genuinely rare. And because it's rare, the compensation is top tier. For the global market, professionals with just 3 to 5 years of experience are looking at $80,000 to $140,000. Step up to the senior level, and we are talking well over $250,000 or upward of 70 lakhs per annum in India. That premium is driven purely by the scarcity of this exact skill set. Moving on to part 2, core technical skills, building the foundation. So let's talk about the actual tools you need to secure these roles. The technical bar is high, for sure, but it is entirely achievable if you know exactly where to focus your energy. For modern FDE roles, the AI and LLM stack is your absolute foundation. We're talking about deep, hands-on familiarity with prompt engineering, retrieval-augmented generation, or RAG, which is essentially how you get an AI to securely read private company data, and vector databases to store all that information. You've got to be fluent in frameworks like LangChain and LangGraph, and model providers like OpenAI, Claude, and AWS Bedrock. And the great news here, if you already have experience playing around with AWS Bedrock, RAG, or building basic AI apps, you literally have a massive head start. And this comparison brilliantly illustrates the key differentiator. A normal AI engineer focuses heavily on model training, fine-tuning, and back-end internal systems. But an FDE's secret weapon, it's enterprise integration. Your job is taking those advanced, cutting-edge models and securely connecting them to old, legacy enterprise systems. That means you absolutely must understand REST APIs, authentication protocols like OAuth and single sign-on, CRM integrations, and data governance. In short, you are building the nervous system that connects the AI brain to the corporate body. Okay, part 3, the 12-month playbook, your tactical transition. So the crucial point is how you actually get there from where you're sitting today. We've broken this transition down into a strict, highly focused 4-quarter plan. Over the next 12 months, your roadmap looks a bit like this. Quarter 1 is all about AI foundations and rapid prototyping. Quarter 2 shifts gears into robust cloud infrastructure. Quarter 3 is where you tackle enterprise integration and security. And finally, you'll round out the year in Quarter 4 by mastering communication, architecture storytelling, and customer demos. Let's break these down step by step. In your first 3 months, your focus has to be on production AI systems. You need to sharpen up those advanced Python skills and get super comfortable with FastBI and Docker. But more importantly, this is when you really master LangGraph, vector databases, and agentic AI workflows. The name of the game here is rapid prototyping. By the end of month 3, you shouldn't just be trapped in tutorial hell reading documentation. You need to have actively built a functional AI agent app and an enterprise-level chatbot. Then, as we accelerate into months 4 through 6, your focus shifts entirely over to robust cloud infrastructure. Because honestly, it doesn't matter how smart your AI is if it crashes the second 100 employees try to log on, right? You need to learn Kubernetes production deployments, infrastructure as code using Terraform, automated testing through CI/CD pipelines, and LLM observability. Your big milestone for this quarter is taking those AI apps you built back in Quarter 1 and successfully deploying them on a scalable platform like Amazon EKS. This proves your solutions can actually scale reliably in the real world. By month 7, you're tackling the most critical gap in the industry right now: enterprise AI architecture. You're going to focus heavily on secure AI deployment, AI governance, cost optimization, and multi-tenant SaaS environments. You really have to understand how enterprise networking functions under the hood, things like role-based access control, OAuth, and single sign-on. Your build project for this quarter? A fully secure enterprise RAG platform that respects data boundaries and strict corporate security protocols. Solving this specific security challenge is exactly what makes you so incredibly valuable to these companies. Finally, in months 10 through 12, you're going to step away from the code editor and focus on customer-facing skills. Remember, for an FDE, communication is often way more important than the code itself. You need to practice architecture presentations, discovery calls, and technical storytelling. Your tangible outputs here should be a highly polished GitHub portfolio, in-depth technical posts on platforms like LinkedIn, and crisp, professional demo videos of the actual systems you've built. If you can explain complex AI simply to a non-technical executive, man, you are golden. Which brings us to part 4, project milestones, theory versus reality. Now, let's talk about proof. Because in the forward-deployed engineering space, real functioning deployments beat theoretical certifications every single time. Look, an AWS Solutions Architect or Kubernetes certification is definitely helpful, but it's not going to get you the job on its own. You absolutely must build specific targeted projects in public to showcase that you can convert raw AI capabilities into hardened enterprise tools. Your portfolio needs to include an enterprise AI chatbot, a secure RAG system, a multi-agent workflow engine, a Gen AI platform deployed on Kubernetes, and an AI support automation system. When you walk into an interview at Palantir or McKinsey's Quantum Black division, you aren't just talking about your skills, you're actively pulling up a live, multi-tenant AI dashboard that you built and deployed all by yourself. That is the game changer. And finally, part 5, the mindset shift. Learning to think like an FDE. Let's move to the final and honestly perhaps the most critical piece of your entire 12-month transition. You can learn all the Python and Kubernetes in the world, but if you don't fundamentally change how you approach problems, you just won't thrive as an FDE. The biggest shift is entirely mental. A normal software engineer usually operates with a right feature mindset. They get a ticket, they write the code, they commit it, and they move on. An FDE operates with a totally different mandate. The FDE mindset is solve the customer's business problem quickly and deploy it reliably. You are constantly asking yourself, will this scale? Will the customer actually use this? What's the return on investment here? Can we realistically get this deployed into their environment in 2 weeks? You are directly responsible for delivering tangible business outcomes, not just writing lines of code. This role represents the exact intersection where cutting-edge technology meets real-world application. It's demanding, it requires a wildly diverse skill set, but as that 729% growth in job postings proves, this is the future of enterprise AI. So, I'll leave you with this question as you think about the 12-month playbook we just outlined. Which enterprise problem are you going to start solving on day 1 of your journey? The opportunity here is massive, and your clock starts right now.